Again, another really good strike. Hi guys, this is Matt and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a head-to-head and we are comparing a blade. Don't see them very often these days. These are my current Ping blueprint irons against a cavity back. So we've got the Ping G425 cavity back. So blade against cavity back. Really looking at what the sort of true differences are in terms of aesthetics, feel, and then ultimately performance. So aesthetically, as I'm sure you can all imagine, the blade is clearly much smaller head from the top line, and also the overall footprint of the head is much smaller. So as we can imagine, this is designed for someone that's a pretty accurate ball striker, and the G425, the cavity back irons, much bigger, much more help, thicker top line, much more forgiving. So we're going to compare the two. We're going to hit half a dozen shots with each, really looking at what the sort of true ball flight differences are. Now we must state that the lofts are different because this is a traditional bladed iron. This is 34 degrees in the blueprint. The cavity back is 30 degrees. So already 4 degrees stronger, so clearly this is going to be longer, but there are reasons for the stronger loft. You know, it's a high launching club, so it needs to be stronger to get that desired flight. So let's kick off with the blueprint. As I said, we're going to hit half a dozen shots, and as I said, looking down, it's a much smaller head, you know, really designed for consistent striking. But let's kick things off. Let's see what the numbers are looking like. So straight away there, that was a poor strike. With a cavity back iron, we're going to get some help on that. So that was a pretty poor strike, and there's not going to be that level of forgiveness that we're going to get from you know, a more forgiving club such as a cavity back. However, on the flip side, with a blade, you're going to get really nice feel. So on those good strikes, it's going to feel really nice. It's a pleasure to hit. There's that softer feeling. Now this is a forged head. Again, another nice solid strike. We'll see a carry, you know, good carry distance there, 166. I'm sure we'll see quite a jump with the cavity back. Again, another really good strike, 160. So again, one of the big things with a blade is that on a good strike, you are going to get predictable carry distances. So they're going to be quite a tight dispersion. So if you're somebody that hits the ball pretty solid most of the time, you can rely on a blade or, you know, something that's a little smaller in terms of distance control. Yeah, good strike there, really solid. As I said, the good strikes feel great, you know, nice and soft. This is a forged head. These particular clubs are 100% inspected, so we know that what we've got is exactly what Ping set out for it to be. Again, another good strike there. So first strike wasn't great, and then the next 5 were pretty good. So now we're going to switch to the cavity back, the G425. So typically cavity back clubs are designed at your higher handicapper. Not always, but generally, you know, difficult to put a number on it, but you're probably thinking anyone over, say, a 12, 14 handicap would be looking at a cavity back. Depending on, you know, some people might be off a higher handicap because of the short game. They're actually good ball strikers, so it's not always clear cut, but typically the higher guys that want a little bit of help with the ball striking. Straight away we can see as I say, bigger footprint, thicker top line. Again, in terms of distance, just to give you an idea, that was averaging 163 with a good one at 170. ball speed averaging at sort of 117 there. So let's see what the differences are in terms of performance. So straight away there, you'll see ball speed jumping up to 127, so practically 10 miles an hour quicker. Carry 185, so you know it's pretty much 20 hours difference. Yes, there's the loft in there, but even still, it's creating even more speed. Being talk about this multi-material badge on this particular club that's helping with the distance. However, the drawback is it felt hollow. Couldn't really feel much of a strike. It was very clicky. You know, as I said, the overall feel isn't amazing. These types of clubs have improved over the years, so this club is much nicer looking than if we went back, say, 5-10 years. They were very chunky and very ugly. These do look a lot better than its predecessors. Again, you know, really solid strike. But I do have that confidence knowing that if it's an off-centre hit, I'm going to get the help. Ping have this perimeter weighting, which helps with these off-centre hits on this particular club. And again, you know, it is individual, but you know, for me, I actually think my blueprints are probably a little bit small. I think I'm definitely going to change next year. But you've got to look at it individually, see what works best for you, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and you know, really trying to figure out what the best sort of plan of attack is for your own game. So there we go. That was off the bottom, but the ball speed and carry hasn't really dropped off. That's what you're going to get with this club, or this type of club, should we say. Yeah, and I've struck these well, you know, super consistent. We're obviously seeing a big difference in performance, certainly distance. Let's hit one more. And another solid one to finish. So I did hit those, you know, really solid there. And you'll see dispersion rings here straight away. We can obviously see the cavity back, the 425 further on. And interestingly enough, dispersion is tighter with the cavity, which you wouldn't expect. I think on the good ones with a blade, you would see tighter. But the problem is on a bad one, as we can see on this far left one with the blueprint in the white there, if that one bad one can drop off quite significantly there, which you wouldn't really get that with the cavity. So now into the all important numbers, and we will start to see quite a difference here. So off a similar club head speed, sort of 88, 89 miles an hour, you can see the difference in ball speed, 116.8 to 125.9. So what's that, 9 miles an hour ball speed, so quite a big jump. Smash factor was better. I definitely hit the 425 better, but again, you'll see there that 1.27 with shot 1 there on the blueprint. That one bad strike, the smash factor really drops off, and that's hence why there's that drop off in performance. Launch angle, interestingly enough, very similar, and that comes back to what I was saying at the start there. So different lofts, 34 and 30, but they're actually launching very similar. So I think that's probably a misconception in golf. We think, yeah, stronger lofts are going to go further. Yes, that is correct, but it's more around the technology in the head that launches it higher, so they have to strengthen the lofts to get the desired launch. As I said there, very similar launch, 4 degrees difference in loft. Very interesting. Spin rates, again, because there's a lot of speed coming off the 425 there, the spin's 5,000 as opposed to 6,000 with the blueprint. And again, typically I like to see the spin about 6,000 for my game, because I know that it's going to be quite controllable and we're going to get that stopping power. obviously much hotter off the cavity back, the spin is less. Again, much higher with the 425. Again, because of the technology in the cavity back, launching it higher, so typically your higher handicapper golfer struggles to get it airborne, so all the technology there to hit it nice and high. And the big one really here is the carry distance, so 163 to 184, so 21 yards longer with a cavity back. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance, you want to gain some yardage, cavity back is definitely where you want to be. If you're someone that's a pretty good ball striker, you're looking for control, not necessarily, it might not be a blade, but certainly something smaller that you can control the ball a lot better with. And then finally, in terms of the side, plus or minus 24 feet with the cavity back and 26 feet with the blueprint. So on this occasion, not that much of a difference in dispersion. Again, if we just look at those rings, we can see that dispersion is quite similar. I think on this particular test I've actually hit the 425 well consistently, and that one bad one with the blueprint has dropped it off there. So quite interesting findings. Again, as always, think about what's best for your game, but the blade, obviously small, hard to hit, but feels incredibly nice to hit. Cavity back, you've got the forgiveness, you've got the help, but you've perhaps not got the feel and maybe that distance control as well. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Please like and subscribe as always. Post any comments down below. Look forward to seeing you again very soon.